All right, welcome back, everyone, to Morning Line. As I said in the beginning of the show, we touched on a number of topics, and one of them is on taxes. And the gentleman with us this morning is going to kind of tell us about the opportunity for some out there to get a break on their property tax bills. And, Parker Toler is with us this morning. He's the Metropolitan Trustee.
Good morning.
It's good to have you on.
Thank you.
I'll say this, a good man who served for years in the council and was very good friends with the late, great Metro Trustee Charlie Cardwell, who passed away, rest his soul. And one of my favorite people in Metro government.
One of my favorite as well.
Well, you told me you grew up with him.
Yes.
You knew him going back years and years. And anyway, Charlie Cardwell will be greatly missed. Such a fine man. And they were lucky to have you. You had been over there working with Charlie.
I've been over there the past 7 years during the time
after you left the council.
That's right. When the tax bills go out, I'd go to work and say during the time of all the busy season.
Right.
During that, it was something I knew something about and understood, and Charlie had faith in me, and so therefore it worked out to be a good thing. The part about him passing wasn't a good thing, but it was certainly a sad day in my life.
Absolutely, for a lot of us. And then in that passing, it was a situation where, at least for now, you plan on hopefully serving out the remainder of Charlie's two-year term, and then we'll see from there. I know you're doing this because you are committed to this community. If you would, and Charlie did a great job of doing this, but for a lot of our viewers, explain to them, again, and you touched on it, property taxes. What is the role of the Metro Trustee?
Well, the trustee collects all the property tax, both residential and commercial. The personalty tax, which is if you own a business and you have cars and computers and all those things, there's a tax on those things at the rate set by the assessor. We collect that tax personally, and we collect the utility tax. Those are the three things that we do, and that is about 46% of the Metro budget. So we do our best job to collect it.
How much money are we talking about comes in?
About $1.1 billion in total.
Think about that.
That's kind of round numbers. Could be a little bit.
Well, this is Nashville. This is a big, booming city, and the money continues to come in. That's a lot of it to follow up on, but
we continue. Getting many more parcels. Like when I started working in the office some 7 years ago, we probably had 230,000 parcels. Now we're probably at 280, including all. Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah, so an awful lot, and that money, of course, very, very important. The values of property in Davidson County, as you well know, continue to go up and up and up. And as a result, you know as well as I do, there are some folks out there who have been living in homes for decades. They're on fixed incomes now, and all of a sudden they're like, my property tax is what? Because the value of their home has skyrocketed. It's not their fault, good for them, but they don't want to move, and they're like, all of a sudden, how am I going to pay this property tax?
That's right, and that's what we're trying to reach out to as many folks as we possibly can from the area, the Nations, Germantown, all of those areas of where there was property that was homes that were worth maybe $80,000 or even less. Some that now there's been such a demand for property within the inner city that those values have gone from, say you had an $80,000 house, someone tears the house down, builds two, and suddenly you got $450,000 houses on a lot that was $80,000. So no matter what happens, the property value is going to go up, and therefore the property tax goes up. What we're trying to do is those folks that are seniors and folks with disabilities that have limited incomes, that we're trying to reach out to those folks because we have a tax relief program and a tax freeze program that can help them stay in their home. And that's the most affordable housing of all, that you stay in the home that you have already, not having to go build another one that's affordable somewhere, that you stay where you are is the most affordable housing of all. So that's one thing. There's this constant talk about affordable housing in Nashville. We're trying our best to reach out to those folks to keep them in their home.
Yeah, that really is the trick. I mean, you ask individuals, you say, well, wait, all of a sudden your home that you bought for $80,000 is worth $300,000. Why not sell it? Take the money and go, well, where are they going to go? I mean, for $300,000, what are you going to be able to buy if you want to stay in the city? It's a pickle. And so you'd have to move further out, especially they're older and less likely to be willing to make a move. I mean, you got to stop and think the predicament this puts people in sometimes.
Oh, yeah. And that's our goal, to reach out to those folks, the elderly and the folks with disabilities, because most of them do not want to move. They want to stay where they are. You talk to any older person, that's their desire. They don't want to go to an assisted living. They don't want to go to it. They want to stay in their home as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. I'm just curious, before we get into the details of this program, are there any areas in Metro where the property actually went down in price? Is that possible, where someone's going to pay less, not more?
Well, some of the areas that you would not even think of, the areas of maybe in Green Hills and some of those areas that
had been so inflated. It went down a bit?
Went down a bit because of the areas like I just mentioned, the Germantown and the Nations, that their values increased so drastically, it has to level out so that more revenue isn't increased from the reappraisal. So some of those areas that where for years that their values had just continued to go up and up, that in this last appraisal, those areas that you would not necessarily think of going up so high did reach the much higher values. Germantown is one of the Nations, East Nashville, 12th South, unbelievable area of how values have gone up so drastically because of the demand. We got lots of folks coming to Nashville that want to live here, and they'll pay whatever price basically that's asked, and therefore that causes the values to continue to go up. But that's a good thing. We don't want it to go the other way. That's a good thing. But when that does happen, it causes some of the elderly and the folks with disabilities that have limited incomes, it causes them to be searching for places to be or trying to find ways to stay in their home.
Yeah, fixed incomes. By the way, what is the property tax rate?
The tax rate? I guess what we want to talk about more, we'll talk about the rate, but what's the person's income.
Oh no, I know. Well, we'll get to the incomes, but I mean, right now, what does the average Metro homeowner pay tax rate?
In their tax bill, you're speaking of.
What percentage? What are they?
Well, the percentage of the property tax is 25% of the value.
Okay. So, but we haven't had. When you talk about people paying more, it's not because lawmakers or the council has raised the property tax rate. It's just the property tax rate has remained static. The value of the home has gone up. That's static, but because the home went up, you pay more.
That's how exactly that works.
I just want to explain it. Sometimes people get confused, like, well, are they just raising our taxes again? No, your tax is going up because the value of your home has increased, not because they've increased the property tax.
That's exactly right. Okay. The property tax has not increased, I think, in about 9 years since.
Who was it?
I guess the last increase would have been under Mayor Dean. So that would be, it's probably been 7 years.
7 years or so.
7 or 8 years since
the last time. So no one's talking about that, or who knows, maybe it'll be addressed at some point, an increase, but that's not why. So I want to get into, though, the income levels and all this. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll lay it out for our viewers exactly what it takes to qualify for getting some relief on your property tax. And you might be surprised. There's a chance here it could save you some money. We'll take a break and be back more with Metro's trustee right after this.